Yo, yo, breaking news, Raider Nation. I know we're going to talk about the whole Jakobi Meyers thing, but some breaking news just came out not too long ago. According to Jordan Schultz, the Raiders are bringing back five-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Amari Cooper on a one-year deal, a big addition for quarterback Geno Smith. Now, Amari Cooper is having a reunion over here with the Raiders, the team that drafted him. Let's go! Let's freaking go! Now, this makes a lot of sense on why the Raiders might not bring back Jakobi Meyers, and I don't even know what we're going to do with Jakobi Meyers moving forward. Hopefully, we could bring him back and keep him on the roster, but now with the news that just broke right now, who knows if he's going to stay on the team? But Amari Cooper, even though I know he's not the same player he once was, he's definitely a solid veteran addition to this roster with all the young wide receivers that we have on the roster right now. Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton, Jack Besh, all these other guys. Amari Cooper is a solid one. It's crazy because when we traded him away to the Dallas Cowgirls years ago, man, I was saying it. I was like, man, it sucks, but I feel like he's going to come back to the Raiders one way or another, and now he's going to be donning the silver and black yet again, but now here in Las Vegas. Now, I don't think that he's going to get his number 89 back because Brock Bowers is rocking that number, but we'll have to wait and see what Amari Cooper is going to be rocking, but I'm just excited. I'm just excited just to have him back over here with the Raiders, and that's just me being a Raider fan and just also being a big fan of Amari Cooper when he was over here. I think that this is a great move for the Raiders, and I know that the Raider fans are probably going to go crazy as well, but Raider Nation, man, what do you guys think about this move with Amari Cooper coming over here? You know, this kind of feels like a whole reunion tour. And heck, why not? Go get Derek Carr, right? Let's go get Derek Carr and trade for Khalil Mack. Now, okay, I'm kind of getting crazy with it. But again, you guys can hear the excitement in my voice. I'm just happy to hear this news. And it definitely makes sense on why Jakobi Meyers might even want to trade in the first place. But we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I just thought I'd talk about this since the news just broke. Is this good news for Jakobi, or is this some bad news? Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Raiders wide receiver Jakobi Meyers requests a trade. Why can't we ever have a regular offseason? I mean, every single year, it always seems like we got to go through some BS, right? And breaking news came out today, recently, with our wide receiver one, Jakobi Meyers, requesting a trade. According to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, they broke the news saying that Raiders wide receiver Jakobi Meyers recently met with the team brass and requested to be traded. The team, citing his value, said they had no plans to do so. Meyers and the team attempted to negotiate a new contract, but could not come to terms. Now, Meyers is going into his final year of his deal and is set to make a base salary of $10.5 million in 2025. Now, knowing that, and knowing that Jakobi Meyers is coming off of his best season yet, racking up 87 receptions for 1,027 yards and 4 touchdowns. On top of that, having a 0% drop rate. And seeing that, as well as knowing that the Raiders have extended multiple players this past offseason, I can definitely understand why Jakobi Meyers would want to get a contract extension. Now, the team does not have any plans to trade him away, and I feel like this could be a move from Jakobi Meyers' agent to, throw a little bit of a bluff out there to hopefully get paid sometime soon. And the question is, does he deserve to get that money? I do think so. Even though I don't think that he's a traditional wide receiver one, he is our best wide receiver on the team and also plays a veteran leadership role with this team, especially with all the young players that we have on the roster right now. He's definitely an asset. Now, with the recent emergence of young guys like Trey Tucker and even Dante Thornton Jr., the Raiders can actually move on from Jakobi Meyers, but I doubt that they do that. Like I said earlier, he plays a critical role on this offense, not only as a solid receiver, but as a leader on the team. I feel like if the Raiders were to lose Jakobi Meyers in any way, if they traded him away or, I don't know, let him go, which I highly doubt, it would definitely affect the Raiders offense because we're going into the season thinking that we're going to have him as our wide receiver one. I mean, you've seen a couple of years ago when we had AB and we had a game plan going into the season with him being our wide receiver one. We released him and I felt like the whole offense just kind of got scattered around and just didn't look like how we expected him to look. Now, I'm not saying that Jakobi Meyers is the same tier as AB, but he's just as important to this team. Now, I will credit Jakobi for, showing up, showing face, putting his head down and going out there and working, being at every training camp, being at the preseason games and not holding out like a lot of other players would do. And that's another reason why I would want to pay him, because at the end of the day, he just wants to be over here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. I just feel like he's kind of handcuffed right now and wanting to get what he deserves. Now, I don't know how much it is that he's looking for. If he's looking for wide receiver one money, then I understand that it's going to be hard for the Raiders to pay him that much. But if I was the GM and it was entirely up to me, I would definitely extend Jakobi Meyers. We've extended a lot of players over here on this team just for the work that they've been putting in, and Jakobi Meyers, I think, falls right into that category. Unless he's asking for that wide receiver 1 type of money, you know, top 5, top 3 wide receiver in the league, then I'd trade him away. But what do you guys think, Raider Nation? Would you guys trade Jakobi Meyers away? What would even be his trade value, right? Or would you guys keep him on the roster right now and pay him the money that he deserves? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, moving on, I know that roster cuts are going to go down tomorrow for the whole NFL, but we got one player at least that will not be a part of the team as of now, linebacker Amari Gainer. And this kind of sucks because, you know, Amari, I got a good relationship with him. He got to come on the podcast and everything. And out of all the players, he's a guy that actually engages with the Raider Nation, takes time out just to go say what's up to the fans and whatnot. So losing him is going to be, I wouldn't say a big blow, but just as far as the team and the camaraderie and just the relationships, of course, is going to be a blow to them. But he's the one that broke his own news, tweeting this out saying, "Thank you for everything, Raider Nation. Excited for the next step in this journey." That said, you know, I wish nothing but the best for Amari Gainer moving forward. I feel like he does have a bright future ahead of him. I hope that the Raiders bring him back and at least put some on the practice squad, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, in addition to waiving Amari Gainer, the Raiders have also waived and cut 17 other players, those players being, I ain't even gonna say his name, but you see his name right here. But they also cut Michael Barrett, Tank Booker, Andre Carter, Hudson Clark, Parker Clements, Keandre Coburn, Amari Gainer, of course, Jared Hufford, John Humphrey, Kadir Ishmael, Keatron Jackson Jr., Ja Joyner, and Sam Webb. They also released the following players: Marquez Callaway, Philip Dorsett, Colin Johnson, and Jalen Smith. Now, I don't think that any of these guys were really a surprise, but, you know, Andre Carter was somebody that I thought could maybe make the roster. He really showed out in preseason, but him, maybe even Sam Webb, we could see probably rejoining the team on the practice squad. But is there any other surprises that you guys see on this list? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, that being said, let's move on to the quarterback 2 search. We talked about this a little bit after the game, but of course, with Aiden O'Connell going down, and even with Pete Carroll talking about this, according to Adam Schefter, he tweeted out that with quarterback Aiden O'Connell fracturing his wrist and being sidelined 6 to 8 weeks, Raiders head coach Pete Carroll said that the team is in the market for a backup quarterback, and it is looking for an experienced player who can help us. I know I just threw out a couple of names in the last video, but there are some realistic options for the Raiders that fit that mold of an experienced player. And one name that I really didn't think about, but according to Vinny B, he kind of threw it out there, was quarterback Ryan Tannehill, which is really interesting. And I feel like he'd be the best option for the Raiders as a backup right now. Now, he tweeted this out yesterday saying that Raiders coach Pete Carroll said that the club will seek and acquire a veteran quarterback with playing experience to fill O'Connell's role. They will look at all markets. Ryan Tannehill could be a possibility. Now, I know that it is just a possibility, but I think it's an intriguing one for the Raiders. Now, I do believe that Tannehill is one of the most experienced quarterbacks that is available right now for the Raiders, and he doesn't have a lot of upside, but if his number was called, I think that he can definitely be a reliable quarterback, more reliable than Aiden O'Connell ever was as a QB2 for this team. Now, onto another player that we talked about a little bit is Dorian Thompson-Robinson. This guy, of course, a lot of Raider Nation is talking about and really wants to bring him over here, and me too. I wouldn't mind bringing him over here, and recently the Philadelphia Eagles released him as per expected, and now with that void, the Raiders could be an option for him. Bringing DTR over here to reunite with Chip Kelly is something that we've all talked about. I know that Chip Kelly had a lot of great things to say about him with his time at UCLA, and knowing that, and knowing the relationship that they have, and knowing that he's already played in this offense, he has a little bit of experience here. So with the dual threat ability and the ties to Chip Kelly and local roots in Las Vegas as well, this could definitely be an intriguing option for the Raiders. Another player that was just recently released is quarterback Tyler Huntley. This is another realistic option for the Raiders if they're looking for a QB2, a real mobile quarterback that at least has a Pro Bowl under his belt, and I think would serve well as a QB2 over here. And another realistic quarterback option for the Raiders is definitely quarterback Kyle Trask. Now, Trask is a young quarterback with upside who has been stuck behind veterans in Tampa Bay. With his ties with John Spytek, Las Vegas could be an option for Kyle Trask and would likely cost the team a mid to late round pick. That said, the Raiders definitely got to keep an eye out for all the players that's going to be cut tomorrow around the NFL, because there's going to be a lot of veteran quarterbacks that will be available, and some names to really look out for, of course, is Kenny Pickett from the Browns, Jameis Winston, Taylor Heineke, Trey Lance, and even Case Keenum. But with all that being said, though, I'm pretty sure we're going to find that guy by the end of the week. Raider Nation, let me know who would be your most realistic option for the Raiders to back up Geno Smith down in the comments below. Now, until the next video, this is your boy, Samo Raider, and your boy is, yeah.